Hello, folks. Welcome to October 11th, 2019's Fandango Friday. And here I am with my Tulane shirt. Oops. And I've got my little angry wave. All right. October. That is the month of Halloween.
Not a music lover, this J Terrio here. He cut the old carnival song off short.
No, I didn't cut it.
All right. Anyway,
I'm trying to figure out why this camera icon is flashing, though. I wonder if Mozilla Firefox is going to let me down.
I think the duck cut it off short.
I think the duck is got too much orange sauce on it. And,
Yeah.
what is that? A pull-up bar behind you?
That's that.
Oh no, that's a real.
The duck right there.
The duck is out of luck.
The duck is no good.
Was it Godzilla Firefox? I had to get rid of it because it wouldn't work with Google Hangouts, Mozilla.
Yeah, I'm trying to use it. I don't know if it's.
I got Chrome. I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, Chrome is usually the best. Oh, where's Ron?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have any problem with Mozilla until the whole Google Hangouts thing became the rage. Then it was just not.
You mean StreamYard?
No. StreamYard is the great thing about the duck or the goose, whatever the hell that bird is that
I think it's a duck.
the duck. Let's just say it looks like a mallard duck. It has the
mallard duck. That's what I think.
It has an iridescent, like the males have an iridescent green. The good thing about StreamYard is that anyone from anywhere just has to be online and they can be a guest on StreamYard. They don't have
to.
Well,
it was the same thing with Google Hangouts.
Well, you had to, but you had to have a Gmail account, I think, in order to like.
Did you?
Click on.
Yeah, it went through your email. Yeah.
But did it have to be a Gmail account?
That was the carnage.
Yeah. Google Hangouts, not Yahoo Hangouts. Yeah.
Oh, I never even.
I'm pretty sure.
Is it carnage?
I always had a Gmail account.
Okay. Well, now I won't be able to go past the top of the next hour due to baseball-related issues.
Oh, come on. What are you watching the Nationals game?
That's right.
Who cares
about right. You're doggone right. I know Tampa Bay lost. I was upset too, but anyway, that happens. But they did do well. They went to 5.
They really did do good.
Now, tonight, I'm in Louisiana. It's still 87 degrees here, or 80s, so it's still warm.
It's chilly here.
Yeah, and we have from Florida, the next closest state, Florida, we have Ronnie S. And from Georgia, we have John and Nile. And from New Jersey, we have James P. Madonna, and we may have others joining.
Well, at least you're going to watch baseball, and you're not going to talk for an hour about Pop-Tarts or Hot Pockets.
Oh, man.
James I always talk to James about it, and I say, who cares to somebody? I like checks. Actually,
well, I like real food, but even real food at its finest, I couldn't possibly talk an hour about it. I mean, what could you say about it?
Well, if the people want, here's my Zulu necklace.
People, the hell with the people. Hey, Zulu, hey, let's get a close up of that. Oh, he doesn't look like a lawn jockey.
Did you get that at the Carnival?
Yeah, they threw it off the float and I caught it. It's Zulu.
Did you show him your tits?
Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. It says 1909, celebrating 100 years, 1909 to 2009. So this was the 100th anniversary medallion. And here it is.
Hold on, a drone is ready to sabotage J Terrio's studio.
Yeah, hear noise. Here is another Zulu coconut that was given to me at the parade.
Fleur de lis, French lily.
And this is, see, it says,
Zulu.
Yep. So do you get stuff every year? Do you go every year on and get different things?
not necessarily, but I usually go. This was thrown to me, not thrown, they're not allowed to throw, but this is from the look, I'm going to show it to you, what float this was.
Big shot.
Big
K.
shot.
K. What does it say? Cucamonga? What? Crew.
Big shot.
Crew. Crew.
2017.
Yeah, so this was given to me from the infamous Big Shot float.
Infamous. I never heard of it.
Big shot. What is it, like a porno float?
No, Big Shot. Big Shot. Well, you'd have to go to the Zulu parade and check out all the craziness, and you'd know.
Ah.
We gotta go check that out sometime.
Yeah, one of the floats is the Big Shot. He's got the big cigar, and it's an honor to be the Big Shot.
The big
That's
shot.
cool, man. Yeah, that's really awesome stuff, man. The whole parade, man, that you got going on there, it's cool.
I remember Palisade Amusement Park was throughout all summer and all spring and summer when I was a kid. There was a place called Palisades Amusement Park.
Oh, Palisades, right? Palisades. I have old comic books where they're advertising for that. And yeah, Zulu also has marching clubs like the Baby Dolls and the
Baby dolls.
who are the ones with the big? Oh, there's all kind of clubs. There's all kind of the Buzzards. But the Buzzards are after Zulu. All right, now
I like that. The Buzzards. That's a good name for a sports.
Now, tonight I have a rum taste challenge. I have Caliber and this huge plastic, beautiful, because we know plastic is taste challenge. So attractive. And this was $9.96 from Walmart. Oh well.
Yeah, but they have quite a liquor department.
Oh yes, they do. And this is a Caribbean silver rum, imported, crafted in the Caribbean islands with passion and excellence. So if it says imported, that means we know it's not from the U.S. Virgin Islands, nor is it from Puerto Rico.
Silver rum is a much higher grade than just white rum, right? Because they're using the word silver.
Oh well, yeah, but I doubt that if it was $9.96. But IWA Distilling is bottled in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a bizarre item, but something that's even more bizarre is Ron Rio Caribbean rum.
That's me.
And it's from Weston, Missouri. And this stuff, I'm not going to need tags on the bottles, or I mean the glasses, because this stuff smells like Roundup and rancid sugarcane stalks. And the other one smells like rock candy. So there's no way on earth they could ever get confused. Now, from Florida, what do you have tonight, Ronnie? Else? And I remember I said any beverages are fine, even water
I've been
or
trying one of these flavored malt beverages. The Mango Rita.
now. What does it describe it as on the?
It's a sparkling margarita. And then it says here,
Very refreshing for Tampa, Florida, too.
Anheuser-Busch. It's a malt beverage with natural flavors, artificial sweetener, and artificial color. So a lot of artificial stuff here.
Gotta love that Anheuser-Busch for chemicals. Gotta love it.
8%. So
Now
We'll
it's
see how
natural
we do.
flavor. It's natural flavors and artificial colors.
yeah, natural flavor, artificial color, and artificial sweetener.
Oh boy! And
You mean
so
aspartame?
Yeah, probably the aspartame. Yeah, I would think so.
and 8% alcohol. Well,
8% alcohol,
I would use stevia, but I'm not.
as Jay would say.
Stevie. Yeah. Now over there in the Empire State of the South, what do you have tonight, John Hilly?
All right. I have never seen this until today, so I had to buy a 6-pack. This is the 420 strain from Sweetwater. This is the Chocolope Stout. It is a limited release. It says on the back, the 420 strain is back in black with a chocolatey stout and a head-turning aroma. Our unholy trinity of hops, strain-specific terpenes, and natural hemp flavors complement a roasty malt backbone, resulting in a dreamy medley of mouth-watering flavors. Tropical fruit on the inhale, coffee on the exhale, gooey chocolate all the way through. So it's like a hemp stout. I've had you've had the 420, the regular 420. I think you've tried the Mango Kush as well. Very strange beers. So I'm
Yeah.
very interested to see how those type of flavors pair with the roasted malt that you get with a stout. And it comes in at 6.4% alcohol.
That's worthy of Stout Sunday. It sounds so.
It is. I was going to save it for Stout Sunday, but I wanted something special for Fandango Friday. I haven't been able to really join a lot of the Fandango Friday, so I wanted to bring out the big guns for tonight. And you know what it smells like? It smells like weed.
Oh my goodness! Now,
this product I will definitely look for some banners to put on the Everything is Food, because this is really a complex.
Wow.
Complex.
It doesn't smell like a stout. It smells like the regular 420. It's very strange, but it looks like a stout.
yeah, that is something. Now, I muted you, Ronnie, because there's some background noise. Now, James P. Madonna.
That
looks like a handkerchief that Joe Walsh wore when he performed with the Eagles a few times live.
A bandana, you mean?
A bandana, yeah, right. I meant to, yeah.
I always found handkerchiefs to be disgusting. You know, my grandmother used to put it. I said, "Don't do it." No.
Okay, bandana. I'm sorry, and it reminded me of Joe Walsh. It reminded me of Joe. Okay, so what do you have tonight?
Okay, I needed to get rid of some of my small bottles, so I brought Patty's Irish whiskey.
I've heard about that.
And I got the story in front of me here about Patty. It's Patty's Irish whiskey, and it will go in the infamous glass. And let me read about Patty's. Well, the formalities. Let's see, established 1797, 40% alcohol by volume, and let me. Well, they all have interesting stories. Patty, a legendary traveler, Patrick J. O'Flaherty, better known as Patty, sold what became his namesake whiskey in pubs across Ireland for an incredible 4 decades, spanning the turn of the 20th century. Magnetic, outgoing, and generous. Yeah, right. Yeah. Patty bought rounds and made friends everywhere. Well, maybe he was generous. Made friends everywhere he went, always making sure everyone had a great time. Sounds like a exciting. Kind and wise, with a good-natured rapier wit. Raper? Why, he raped the Irish girls? Rapier, Rapeier. Patty was always welcome and was, by all accounts, universally beloved. After 40 years of service, the whiskey he sold took on his name. And 40 years. Let's see. It was originally delivered by horse and buggy. Let me get done with the formalities here, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, he was wonderful. He was great. And it's Irish whiskey, and that's about all it really says. But let me pour it. Holy shit, this thing is not tight. I just want to say, not to put a damper on Fandango Friday, but October 11th, it is exactly 1 year since my mother passed away. So, time sure flies fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's incredible that a year has gone by already. But
it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Something.
So this will be like a memorial Fandango, even though she didn't drink Irish whiskey. It's just too damn bad because this is the bottle I picked. But anyway, let's see. She was more of a Kahlua white. No, she liked wine spritzers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she liked that, you
Would a
know.
wine spritzer be kind of like a White Claw, something like that?
Well, she would take like a Carlo Rossi, like when we did the Zinfandel thing, and she would put club soda in it, or maybe tonic water. That was like one of her favorites, and she
So
liked.
mixing club
Yeah,
club soda with wine.
splash. Yeah, splash of club soda with wine, not red wine, but you know, a lighter wine.
Hmm.
Okay, there we go. There's Patty's, and
Cheers to you. And by the way, I thought I would mention that Patty's is owned by the Sazerac Company of New Orleans, Louisiana, owned by a husband and wife team.
oh, really? They bought out the entire company that originally owned Patty's.
That's what it says. It says I'm looking at the website. It says Sazerac Company, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Very, very almost identical to Jameson's and Bushmills.
Okay, now when you're finished testing it out, I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to read what the company's tasting notes say about it.
Okay.
See if it matches what you're saying. But I will read this real fast. It says a distinctive blend of triple distilled Irish whiskey, the product of 3 classic Irish approaches to whiskey distillation. Patty's has the distinction of blending grain, malt, and pot still into a single smooth spirit. Each component contributes subtle flavorings to achieve a uniquely smooth result. The grain offers a light floral touch of crisp sweetness. The malt augments the sweetness with a slight note of toasted biscuit. And the pot still brings the traditional Irish creaminess, but with a breath of spice, honey, and vanilla. But those aren't the tasting notes. That's just talking about the 3 main ingredients. We'll get to the.
Well, it's definitely smoother than the Jamesons and well, at least the Jamesons. I haven't I only had the Bushmills years ago once, but it's definitely more pleasant, smoother than the Jamesons, which is also triple distilled, according to.
Yes, I was talking to a priest, an Irish priest, over the summer last year, and he was telling me about Patty's. He said, "Well, you know, a lot of people drink Jameson, but in my area, you know, we're more of a Patty's whiskey." And I said, "Oh, okay." And then he was saying, "Oh, I shouldn't be talking about whiskey, Irish whiskey, in confession." I said, "Well, that's a neutral object. It's not."
He's confessing.
No, I was confessing,
You were
but just talking after, and he was saying he had an interest in whiskey, obviously. But I said, "Well, Father, that's a neutral object. Whiskey's neither good nor bad. It's like a pencil sharpener."
If only the Faja would confess himself.
Yeah, everything in moderation, right? There's nothing wrong with drinking.
Well, Jesus and the disciples used to guzzle wine all the time.
I don't know if they guzzled it, but they drank wine.
Yeah.
Well, every time I watched a movie about the Bible, they were always, they didn't drink spring water.
They made wine out of water.
Yeah, but every time they went to drink something, it was wine.
Right,
Yeah,
but if you drank water, you wouldn't be alive very long. Okay, not in the first century.
Right, yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna describe mine real fast. Now I have 2 white, clear, silver rums, whatever you want to call them. I mixed them up while y'all were talking, so the color won't matter because, as you can see, they're identical in color.
Yeah, white is white. You know, just like vodka.
But where the difference comes about is in the aroma. One of these is going to smell like rock candy, and the other one is going to smell like rancid sugarcane and Roundup from Monsanto. In other words, weed killer. Believe me, this is not a challenge. Here we go. Oh, poison. I never smelled anything so unappealing as that. That is coming from Ron Rio, established in 1975. How can this be on the market? I do not know.
What's the ABV on that, Ron?
Nice looking label, 40%.
Now, Ron, if you get this taste challenge wrong with such strong
That's an
opinions
impossible.
going into it, you will have to shut down your channel.
That's an impossible.
No, don't shut it down, Ron. Don't shut it
It's an impossibility. I'll never get it wrong. So this
I've
Ron,
heard that before.
it is like it's beyond any conceivable aroma that you could smell with rum. It's madness. All right, now this one over here, rock candy, cane sugar, pure sugar. It's like a nose full of confectionery sugar. And Subject Zero says bag ass is an acquired taste. Drink enough Ron Rio and it will taste like honey. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. But the flavor is not the same as the aroma. I'm gonna give 20 seconds to this and 20 seconds to that, and then we're on to Ronnie. Yes.
Well, that other person was actually correct. And during the Middle Ages, alcoholic beverages were the only safe liquid to drink.
Right. Otherwise, you're going to check out.
Water wasn't Henry VIII, you know. I mean, all those people, they drank ales. And the Sumerians, the Anunnaki. Yes, the Anunnaki.
Now, the Ron Rio does not actually taste bad. It's the aroma that's so mind-boggling. The flavor is just like a mild sweetness and alcohol beverage. So if you didn't have to smell the stuff, you couldn't drink it. Now, the taste of the Caliber, introduced in 2004, I might add. Tastes like if you've ever had like frosting on a cake or rock candy or any kind of heavy sugar, and I mean super sweet purified sugarcane sugar, that's it. It's just whoa.
You mean like black rum has that strong molasses? Like black
It's not. No, it isn't really molasses. It's like candy sugar, but in the background there's charcoal and some sugarcane stalks like the grass, because sugarcane is a grass, and maybe some wood barrel. So it does have a complexity that you wouldn't dream that something for $9.96 a huge bottle would have. Now Ronnie's going to give us his naturally flavored and unnaturally colored and sweetened drink.
Hey, what can I say? It's a world most excellent malt beverage with mango flavors. I mean, it's pretty sweet.
Try Kettle One and Wheatley vodka. It's made from wheat.
It's definitely pretty sweet. Pretty strong. I mean, you don't taste the strongest, but 8%.
Yeah, I would.
It's gonna get you.
You would highly advise not drinking more than one tall can of that.
Nah, I wouldn't. I would say, yeah. I mean, also, it's just the sweetness is gonna get to your teeth, gonna get to your tongue. You know,
you feel pretty sick.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. I figured it was something different.
How's the mango? I'm trying to not gag.
Well, actually, the mango is pretty good. The mango flavor. Have you ever tried this one?
No, but it's on my to try list. I tried the coconut. Now the coconut was amazing.
I like that one, Ronnie. I've had the mango one. I think it's pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's too sweet to drink a lot of, but
it is sweet.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good for what it is, I think.
I did some research on the natural flavorings, and natural flavorings, it does have to be natural. Okay, it's people will say stuff on the internet, you know, like, oh, it's not real. It's just the government lying, you know.
All right.
And then the same people that say that you can't trust the government, they'll say we should have more socialism, so trust the government to take care of you. And I tell them, you just told me, and I'd say you just told me that those people are trying to poison me, but yet I'm supposed to trust them with my healthcare. Okay, all right. Now,
so the natural flavors, Ron, what would you say are the natural flavors that they're putting in here?
They have to come from natural sources like extracts or juice or
So it's kind of like one of those juices that you buy where it has extract like apple juice or even mango juice. It kind of be
Could be
kind of like
mango
that,
puree
it
that's
could be
in there,
from
Ronnie.
juice,
right?
an extract. It could be from the skin. It could be from wood, bark. It could be from leaves, uh, pulp, any of those things. But it can't be like chemically concocted because then it's an artificial flavoring. So
Right.
uh,
And then we're saying that the artificial sweetener would be like the sucralose or whatever, and
yeah,
then the artificial color would just be like a yellow 5 or something like that they
like
put
a
in.
yellow number 5, a red number, whatever.
Yeah.
Those certified
Okay.
colors.
Not certified
Also,
kosher, certified color.
yeah, yeah. And also, I read that when they claim on the label that it's a natural flavoring, they have to send the certification to the Food and Drug Administration explaining how the process is done to achieve the natural flavoring. Like they have to give like a thing. Here's how we got the natural flavoring. So it's not just some cut and dry thing.
Yeah.
It's more complicated than people might believe. And so what they're doing is they're putting themselves out in liability because now they've submitted the document to the government, and it wouldn't really behoove them to make up a lie and open themselves up to lawsuits. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Now, Johnny Neely is going to talk about this dopey product, man.
Chocolope Stout from Sweetwater Brewing Company out of Atlanta, Georgia. Just released. It's really strange. The aroma, like I said, I opened the cap before I even poured it. It just smelled super dank. If anybody's been around anyone that smoked marijuana or smoked it themselves, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But since it poured, which it did pour with about a 2-finger tan, creamy looking head, since I poured it, the marijuana dank aroma has actually worn off, and I'm getting a lot of the chocolate notes from it and some nice roasty character from the roasted barley malt, like some toasty notes. It smells really good once it opens up for a few minutes, and you actually can pick up some of those other aromas. And the flavor.
Is it expensive?
I bought a 6-pack for $7.99.
Oh no, that's not expensive. Okay.
Sweetwater's
No, that's not
here though
expensive at
because
all.
we're very close to the source. It might be more expensive in other areas.
What's
But
the
I
name of
live
it,
very
John?
close.
Because I've seen the 420. Is 420 strain the brewery?
No, it's Sweetwater Brewery out of Atlanta, Georgia. 420 strain is a line of beers that they produce with terpenes and hemp flavors.
Okay, so
Now,
in the gas station by me, I saw a 6-pack that said the 420 strain, and I'm not sure if it was that one.
No, I promise you, it probably was not this one. This one was just released, and I think the only reason I'm getting this one so
It has that
soon.
little fish thing on it, though.
Yes, right. They all do. All the
Okay.
420 strain ones have this logo on there. But anyway, I think the flavors are interesting. The hemp flavors with the chocolate and some coffee notes. It is very bitter. It almost drinks like a Russian Imperial Stout, kind of like a Rasputin, something like that, because the terpenes and the hops and those dank flavors that I'm getting really bitter this thing out. So it's not really as malty as I would like. It's definitely more like a Russian Imperial. Hearing a lot of something.
Yeah, between that and the person trying to chase Jay off, there's a lot of Fandango sabotaging going on.
That's all right. I muted Ronnie. No personal thing, just until the traffic subsides. He
I
understands.
think maybe it was an airplane flying overhead or something.
No, it's not just that.
Anyway, I actually like this beer a lot more than I thought I would initially from that really pungent aroma that I was getting. The hemp flavors and all that stuff really aren't carrying through on the palate. It is providing a lot of bitterness. It is very bitter. Like I said, Russian Imperial Stout. The alcohol is masked well, 6.4%. I'm not sure what the IBUs are. They're not listed on the label. It's not even on the website yet, I don't believe, although it could be kind of hidden on the website somewhere. I'll have to look a little bit closer before I do my solo review. I'm not getting tropical fruit like they say on here. I'm just getting a lot of toasty bread notes, some bitterness, and a little bit of chocolate. So it's a pretty standard stout, all in all, when you think about it. Once you get past that dank aroma, it drinks, pretty easy. It's not super heavy bodied. It is on the medium side. Carbonation's low. It's a good beer. I would recommend it. I'm sure it'll show up in a lot of states on the East Coast. I don't know how far out west they distribute, but along the eastern United States, at least, Sweetwater is a pretty big, popular brewery. So anyway, glad I bought the 6-pack, and I'll keep sipping on it. I'm enjoying it.
So the base, the predominant flavor is just standard stout.
It's standard stout with an increased bitterness, though. That's the key with this one, is it's pretty bitter on the finish, but not in a bad way. Just if you've had Old Rasputin, this reminds me a lot of that, but a little bit lighter, obviously, because it doesn't have the high ABV, and it's a little bit more watery, I guess. I mean, not that it's a watered down product, but it's not as heavy bodied as the Old Rasputin.
Old Rasputin is friends with Old Fezziwig, which is another great beer coming up.
Oh yeah,
in the season, in the winter solstice Yule season. Old Fezziwig.
I like Old Fezziwig from our friends at Samuel Adams.
Yeah.
Now, John and James P. Madonna, what are your flavor notes on that and your aromas? And I'm going to read what Patty says in their website.
Happy hunt for Red October Fandango Friday, about mid-October. And the thing I can say about Patty's, it doesn't smell and taste like your typical fermented barley Irish whiskey. The primary keyword is smooth, super smooth, and it has a sweet honey-like aroma, not as strong as drinking mead, but it is a very light aroma of sweetness. But it's smoother than Jameson, that's for sure. But there's more going on here than just triple fermented barley. There's definitely more going on here with Patty's Irish whiskey. Incidentally, Jay Terrier was right. Vaccines are very toxic, and if you leave artificial sweeteners out in the sun, like cans of soda at the gas station, that alone will convert it to formaldehyde from the heat. I just wanted to get that over. But anyway, yeah, very smooth. It's all part of the depopulation program to knock off the 98% and enslave us pretty much. Anyway, so smoothness. Excuse me while I jiggle the patties. Smoothness is the number one keyword of this whiskey. I definitely would drink it again, and I choose it above Jameson's, but I don't know about Bushmills or any other. I've seen other Irish whiskeys that are not household names. There are many, like with Scotch whiskey. There's many small family-owned companies, distilleries. Like I used to brag about Grant's Scotch whiskey.
Yeah.
It's not a common name. It's not a Cutty Sark or Chivas or whatever, or Johnny Walker, but they're good. There's just a lot of great small distilleries or even wineries or just like a craft beer that produce a high quality product, but they don't have the money to advertise, and they're not corporate organizations, companies. But this is good. I'll definitely get it again, but there's definitely more going on than just fermented barley.
Now, so you're glad you bought that little bottle.
I'm glad I bought it. I only bought it because the word patty. But it's all right. It's Fandango Friday. It sounds very Irish, patties. It made me think of a leprechaun, saying, "Where's me gold, me lucky charm?" So I grabbed it. you know, and I'm glad I did. And I do have a small bottle of Jameson's, and I have a Johnny Walker Black that I will save probably towards the end of this month.
Okay.
Walker Black, but you know, I happen to have a liquor store here that sells a lot of small bottles. Big selection.
Yeah, that's really convenient. And I'm going to read what the Patty says. Here's what they say. And like I said, New Orleans owned. I don't know Mr. and Mrs. William Goldring. They are billionaires.
Gold grain.
Goldring, William Goldring.
Gold ring. Okay.
It says the nose. This is what they describe as the aroma: malty, fresh, woody, hints of spice, honey, and vanilla.
There you go.
The taste: light and crisp, hints of nuts, malt, and charred wood. Finish: a gently fading sweetness, a lingering of mild woody malt. Now that's the company's website, so you, of course, but anyway, they're giving it. They're saying, I don't know if what they're saying matches up to what you experienced, but it's been around a long time, a couple of 100 years.
Well, everything about this whiskey is positive. I have no complaints about it. I would definitely drink it again because I like it better than Jameson's. Like I said, you know, there are other Irish whiskey distilleries that I haven't tried, but it sounds pretty good. It's like if you had vodka your whole life and then you happen to try Wheatley and Kettle One, like the gentleman earlier that was talking about giving kudos, you know, to vodka. You know, until you've tried a vodka made of a different grain and not made from potatoes, in that case, wheat vodka, you don't really know a finer vodka until you've tried that. So
yeah, and I see that Patty's has won some medals. So no, Michael, I cannot stay on that till that time due to baseball related issues. But I'm sorry, Michael. We have a problem with the West Coast people because their time frame doesn't really match up with ours, so it causes real trouble. And I think sometimes they might think that we're doing it as an insult, but we're not. It's just that I can't control time zones, you know.
yeah, they're trying to combine the. At one time, the United States had hundreds of time zones because of the railroad situation.
I didn't know about hundreds, but we're winding. See, by the time we're winding down, they're just getting off of work, so it makes it really difficult.
Now,
Now,
I watched the documentary. There were several hundred time zones.
okay,
Literally.
I think Russia today has 12 time zones. It's so big, stretching from Alaska to Poland. It's a pretty big country. Johnny Walker, the drink of Christopher Hitchens. I'm sure Ron's not a fan. Oh, actually, I did try Johnny Walker Red Label, and I liked it. I have a whole bottle unopened, so I intend to really deal with that coming up.
Well, let the muckety mucks buy their Johnny Walker Blue, and then, you know, they can always do a Johnny Walker elitist show.
Yeah, that's $250 a bottle.
Yeah, well,
If you're lucky, you'll probably pay $260.
we don't make money off these shows to be buying Johnny Walker Blue.
No. Okay, now my ratings here. Okay, this is obviously the Ron Rio. It smells like it's indescribable, really. It's I can't recommend it. I mean, I don't know too many people out there in the viewing world that want to drink rum that smells like weed killer and rancid sugarcane stalks, but there might be some. Oh boy, here they come with the competition rules.
To be
Violating the law. So that one there, it's memorable, but then some memories are not, you know, really. I remember cutting my leg and getting 30 stitches, but I don't really want to think about that. Now the caliber.
I remember getting a big bar of soap in my mouth when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
for saying things I shouldn't be saying to the substitute teacher. But didn't taste very good, by the way.
Right, but it's memorable. Now the caliber is strange. It is strange, but for people with an extreme sweet,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think caliber is going to work all right. You know, because it's sugary, but then it has a background note of wood and
Starsky and Hutch, the faithful navigator.
you see they bought these. Oh, he's got a motorbike. Okay.
And he likes to
Killer.
rev it up so
On
everybody.
this street, he's using this street as a straightaway, and
Yeah.
you can hear him gunning it like he's using it like a like a drag race. All right, now because he only has a railroad track there, and then he doesn't have to really worry about traffic. Now,
Stereo system when they stop at a red light, they crank up the stereo system. Look at me, pay attention to me. You know,
right.
same deal.
Hey, Ron. So if you have a sweet tooth, you might like it. It does have charcoal. It does have a lot of wood. You can tell it was in the barrel. Is it going to be a great world-class white rum for $9.96 for 1,750 milliliters? Only a fool would think that, but it's okay. It's interesting, and it is unique. I've never tasted anything like that. The Ron Rio, I would say drink at your own risk. I don't know what the deal is with that. And I have 1,000 milliliters of it. But maybe that's why I got it for $6.99. But then I can't say that because I got other ones for that same cheap price, and they weren't horrendous. Okay, now, Ronnie S., what's your final assessment of the mango, naturally flavored mango Rita?
Can't hear you, Ronnie. Are you talking?
Is he
Talk
muted?
again. Talk again.
He muted?
Can't hear you.
Maybe his mic is muted?
Yeah, he might have to reset something. He did change his location. That could have affected it. He could always type it. Oh, he dropped off. Well, he'll be back.
Yeah, just type the score.
Yeah, come back, Ronnie, and type the score or say it. He probably get it fixed. Okay, now we'll go off to Georgia, Western Central Georgia. John Neely, what is your score for the mango stout?
Chocolope Stout, yeah. It's in the A range. It's on the low end, though. I'm going to go with a 91 out of 100. It's strange. It's, if you know, Ron, I know you've had these hemp beers. They're just until you try them.
I didn't like them.
I didn't particularly. I mean, I did like the Mango Kush one a lot. I really like that one. The regular 420 strain, it was okay, but it's just they're such strange products. There is a dankness with them that you don't. I mean, I guess you could attribute it to like West Coast style hops, but the terpenes and all of that's in here. The hemp flavors, they're strange, especially with a stout. Now, once you get through that, there are some nice chocolate notes, some nice roasty, toasty notes, typical stout flavors. The 6.4% alcohol is masked very well, but it's just strange. So all I can say to the viewers out there in YouTube land is buy it and try it for yourself because it's really difficult to accurately describe because it's unlike anything else I've ever had. This style is very different. It's unique. It's worth trying, but I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea. But it is an excellent product nonetheless. That's why it gets an A. But for me, like I said, it's on the lower end, 91 out of 100.
I tried. If I saw it, I'd try it. Heck, but the first one I tried was a D. And then with the second one, we gave it a C-. And then off the air, my friend David was saying,
I think you'd like this a lot better because it's so rich and it's got the roasted barley malt and the chocolate added. It kind of masks those strange flavors a little bit better. So I think you'd like it a little bit better than the other two.
yeah, probably. You notice I didn't score my two rums because I was doing a taste challenge, but I would say that Caliber is the clear winner. The clear winner. There's no doubt. Caliber is so much better that it's almost laughable. And I'm not even saying Caliber is that good. I'm just saying Caliber is somewhat bizarre. But if you like sweet, sugary products, it might appeal to you. Um, Hemperor was a drain pour. Well, I kind of like the Hemperor now, in my case. Now, what do you score that, James P. Madonna, the Patty's Historic Irish Whiskey?
All right. Oh, so John's in Western Georgia. That means he can pop 2 champagne bottles on Christmas, on New Year's Eve, because that's Central Time Zone in Alabama over the border.
Well, he's close to the Central Time Zone, but he's in Eastern.
Oh, he's in. Oh, I thought you said Western Georgia. All right, no.
No, all of Georgia's in Eastern Time Zone, right, Johnny Nilly?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, that is correct.
And
Before I moved to where I live now, I actually lived about 15 minutes away from Central Time Zone. I was right across the Chattahoochee over into Georgia and Columbus. Now I live about 30 miles south of Atlanta, so I'm more in the heart of Georgia now.
Yeah.
But yes, Ron is correct. It's all Eastern Time Zone in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, that is true. Just amazing how close it is. Anyway, I'm very happy and with the aroma and the flavor and the smoothness of this Patty's Irish whiskey. I would definitely get it again, and I will. As far as Irish whiskeys go, I will give it a 98% out of 100.
Wow, that's really high.
Because considering how much I like it better than Jameson's, which
looks like Sazerac and you need to get together. You and Sazerac Company might want to do some collaboration, because you gave the Wheatley a high score. Now you're giving the Patty's a high score. So they might want to shoot some stuff your way, you know.
Oh, Wheatley and Kettle One are both made from wheat, but I do remember the Wheatley being better than Kettle One, without a doubt. Wheatley was like the best vodka I ever had, and they're both made from wheat. Now, in this case, that Irishman the priest that you spoke to.
Oh yeah, Father Terry.
For Father Terry's correct. I would definitely get it again. I give it a high score. It's very very pleasing. I mean, even because a lot of people do not like Irish or Scotch whiskeys, and then there are those that are fanatics about it. But I was never a huge fan of Irish or Scotch whiskey in the past, but now I appreciate it more. Hand voodoo, hand puppet. Yeah, what about like on South Park, Mr. Hat? Remember, the teacher? The Hat. Anyway.
Now, James, I saw Father Pat, another Irish priest. We get a lot of Irish priests. I saw Father Pat at a store today.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking at greeting cards for whatever reason, and he only drinks Jameson. Now, I don't know why. I guess he grew up loving Jameson. He's probably about 55 years old now.
Has he tried others, or just?
Some people are like him.
I know. Well, when I used to work with seafood, there were people that used to say, "I want scrod cod or flounder fillet. I won't eat anything else." They just have that mindset. They march in lockstep. They do the same thing and eat the same thing and drink the same thing, and that's how they are.
Right. So he's probably been drinking Jameson since 1980. He's 39 years drinking it. He's not going to deviate. It's never going to change. And I don't mind. He loves it. We have a bottle of Jameson Irish whiskey at our council hall, and it says "For Father Pat only."
It reminds me of the time I was at my brother's house down the Jersey Shore, because he lives on the water, and we had a barbecue party, and he gets a big package of. I said, "What kind of hot dogs did you get, Scotty? I hope you didn't get any roadkill. I hope you got good quality Frankfurters." He says, "Well, I got the best." I go, "What? Why are they the best?" He says, "Because it says Best Hot Dog Company on it." I said, "What's?" Just thought that was funny.
That is kind of funny, really. Yeah, Michael, feel free to come on anytime, but I know your work schedule doesn't really make it too appropriate. All right, now Ronnie's going to give us a score. Ronnie's back. We had some technical audio issues, Ronnie, but you're going to give us a score now. Maybe.
Ronnie?
And if we can't hear you, you can always type the score, which is
Maybe his mic is muted.
Yeah, you just muted it. You know, the internet, it's such a pain, you know.
There's always something finagling with Fandango. There's always the finagling going on. Yeah, just unmute them or unplug the mic. Unplug it and plug it back in. What is an Irish 7-course meal? A 6 potatoes. No, 6-pack of the potato. Oh, 1 potato. I don't even think corned beef and cabbage was originated in Ireland, to be honest with you.
No, but I like both.
I do like it. Brisket, like, oh
man.
Now,
Ronnie,
or no?
oh, there's Ronnie. What do you score that?
Or no?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit. What is that mango? What do you score that mango?
I'm gonna give it a 65 out of 100.
Whoa. So a D.
Yeah, it wasn't a very enjoyable product. So I'm switching over to this.
No, highlight. Good choice.
And interestingly, we're going to be on the air for only about 6 more minutes. Interestingly, when Miller High Life first came out onto the market, it was known as Frederick Miller Lager. Fred Miller Lager.
Fred Miller is the founder.
Yeah, Fred Miller Lager from 1855 until 1903. In 1903, they did not change the recipe. They simply changed the name and the label, and they renamed it.
Was he a German immigrant that immigrated to the Wisconsin area? Or?
Yeah, they renamed it Miller High Life, but he first came to New Orleans. He came from Germany in 1855. The first city he came to was New Orleans. I wish he had stayed, and we have a big Miller brewery in New Orleans. But
yeah.
But he went up the Mississippi River, and then he went to Chicago, and then I think he took whatever trail they had, or railroad, probably a railroad, to Milwaukee, and that's where he established Miller Brewing Company. And yeah, Craig, he did stop in New Orleans. He should have stayed here, but he probably didn't like the crawfish etouffee and the yellow fever epidemics. And
you
so,
know, crawfish etouffee is a delicious recipe. You know, like
yeah. But they were bad problems in 1855 with yellow fever epidemics killing so many people. So he probably said, let me get out of here, this tropical climate. And I think Milwaukee would have been a lot more close to what he was dealing with in Germany with the weather.
Yeah, so, but you had smallpox, consumption, which is tuberculosis. There's so much going on. Cholera.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just
a lot going on back then. And, medical. When I went to the House of the Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, I saw what the beds consisted of. It was just straw stuffed into like a linen bag. You know,
yeah. Craig Swenson says, I know it. I've seen too many of your videos. Yeah, my educational videos. So then he went to Milwaukee and started Miller Brewing, and then his family, I'll say this real fast. The Miller family actually sold out in 1966 because the woman who inherited the Miller fortune, she did not believe in drinking alcohol. She said it was a sin. And so she sold the company to a holding company who turned around and sold it to Philip Morris in 1970.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they have other skeletons in their closet. You know, the ones that throw rocks in the glass house. Yeah.
Well, it was owned by Philip Morris. Philip Morris had most of the stock until 2016, 3 short years ago. And so we know about Philip Morris, famous cigarette company.
Yeah, I think the Coors family is from Germany.
Yes, Coors, Miller, Pabst, Schlitz, Anheuser-Busch.
Yes. A major medical procedure, the Pap smear, very famous with the guy.
Falstaff was owned by
It was owned by Pabst, wasn't it?
huh?
It wasn't
Yeah.
owned by Pabst?
Company, yeah, but the company that the family that started Falstaff, I think, was Limpet.
Lymph nodes.
No, Limp. It was some. They had some kind of terrible family tragedies all through their history, like murder, suicides, and stuff. So it was a kind of a grim story. I know that Jack's Brewery in New Orleans was owned by the
Falstaff was started by Johann Adam Limp. Founded in
Ronnie, you got it. Ronnie, you got it. The background noise.
Johann Adam Limp founded it in 1840 in St. Louis. He was a German immigrant.
Yeah, Limp. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. That good name drop on that. Limp, you got it.
Yeah,
Johann. That's German. That's German for John, right? Johann.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
You are educated and entertained simultaneously.
Jack's Brewery in New Orleans was owned by and I talked to a guy in the French Quarter. He said he grew up in the French Quarter because his family owned Jack's Brewery, and he was one of the kids. And he said it was an interesting upbringing, living in New Orleans in the French Quarter. But he's probably my age, maybe a year older, a year younger. But the family's name was really heavily German. It was like a real German name. It was Fabacher. That's who it was, Fabachers. That's who started Jack's Brewery in New Orleans, Fabacher. But they went out of business, unfortunately. I remember when that Jack's Brewery was still operating. Yeah. But we have a pretty heavy German presence in New Orleans. My grandmother's family name was Osenach. My grandfather's family name was Zingel. And now on the other side, it was Heidel. And so I guess most of my heritage is more German than French. And since my heritage is German, I guess that's why my favorite game as a child was always follow the leader. But
that's a good one.
but anyway, any last comments on tonight's extravaganza of Fandango Friday-ness?
No, I think we said quite a bit, and we've educated the legions of lemmings out there in cyberspace. And,
I just say that thanks for having me. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you. Oh, I took that last sip of Roundup weed killer. Woo.
No, I've got one question for you before we go off here, because you were talking about the aroma of the Ron Rio being pretty rancid, but then when you first tasted it, you said it really wasn't as bad. It was just kind of had a generic sweetness, and then as you kept sipping on it, it seemed to get worse and worse. Is that just?
Yeah, it was strange. It started kind of building, and I thought. And I was thinking, I hope nobody notices, because it was starting to take on some of those bizarre aspects. I mean, people might ask, would you ever buy Ron Rio again? And my answer would be, are you crazy?
I'll say, too, this 420, the Chocolate Stout, I think when I do my solo review, my rating is going to drop significantly because the more I drink it, the less I like it. These hemp flavors and stout flavors just... I don't really think they're pairing that well together.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's getting stranger and stranger.
I'd try it, but heck. Now, I'm very curious about the patty. I think next time, I don't know, I have such a backstock. If y'all came to my house, you would say, well, you went to my house, but people would say, oh, what's the problem? Do you need help? Do you want to go sit down and talk to somebody? And I would say, no, I just kept finding all these deals, So I really need to drink down the backstock, and I think in about 12 years I should be done, and then I can get into patty and all that. And I'm not saying it as a joke. It's just that it's craziness. You saw some of it.
But just keep on using the wild card format and less themes, and you will go through your.
The problem is you can only drink so much alcohol a day, and with your habits, as far as or regarding finding deals and stuff like that, and not being able to resist, I don't know. I think your collection is only going to continue to grow. Honestly.
Yeah, I think my collection will outlive me. Well, like an example, I was at International Market, and I glanced, and they had Highland Mist blended Scotch whiskey for $5.99 a bottle. Now, I mean, wouldn't you have bought it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got quite the collection myself going on. But yeah, no, it's hard to pass up a good deal. And if I lived where you live, I'd be broke, I think, because I'd be buying everything. Yeah, the deals at that Savannah Discount and some of the other places we went, you just can't find liquor and beer and any alcoholic beverage for those prices anywhere else. Not from what I've seen. So
we'll do some Dawnbusters.
Well, yeah, I am, but I'm doing so many taste challenges now. Like tomorrow morning, I have Canadian whiskey lined up, and it's going to be a hard-hitting, exciting taste challenge. I'm very excited about that taste challenge, in fact. And then Sunday morning, I have another one lined up, and those are pretty exciting. Those Canadian blended whiskeys are very exciting, and they're very complex. And don't let people fool you and tell you it's all a bunch of junk, because they're wrong. Ronald Sutton says, dump it all, start over. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go watch baseball. But I'm sorry that Ronnie had some technical problems, but he was a good sport about it. And what did he say he was going to start drinking? He was pouring something.
He had a Miller High Life.
Right. That's what we started talking about, Miller.
Yeah, and he gave his mango margaritas
a D.
Yeah, D, like a 60 or 65, something like that.
In other words, you could drink it, but it wasn't enjoyable. But that makes me even more curious to try it, because I'm thinking.
I gave it an A when I reviewed it on my channel. I think all of the Ritas that I've had, I've given A's. I don't personally. I mean, I wouldn't drink them a lot, but for what they are, I think they're pretty well done.
Yeah, you know what I might buy the variety pack, which has like 6 different ones, and that's for like $13.99. That sounds like a pretty good deal, huh?
Yeah, we get those variety packs here. I think I've tried them all now, actually. Even the cranberry one I tried, that was really good. I need to buy another can, actually, because I don't think I actually did a review on that one. But I've reviewed all of the other ones, and I've liked them. They're very sweet. I see why more women are really getting into those. They appeal more to females, I think, but they're very good. I mean, for what they are. The alcohol is for an 8% malt beverage. The alcohol is pretty much undetected. I
thought so too, and you were very excited about the coconut also.
Yes, that actually may be my favorite one, the coconut, because I love coconut in anything pretty much, especially my stouts. So
right now, I can't wait to see what James P. Medina is going to come up with next. He's got the exciting Johnny Walker Black Label, which I've certainly never had. He's got tequila, huh?
Yeah, I got one of the Jose Cuervos. I got one Jameson's, and I got one Johnny Walker Black. So. The tequila. Well, you don't have any tequila in your stock.
No, and in fact, in my whole entire life, 51 years old, I've never actually even tried tequila in my whole life. People at work tell me I'm lying. They say, "Why you lie like that?" I say, "I'm not lying. I've never tried tequila." And they say, "Oh, you're crazy." I say, "I'm not crazy. I've never tried it."
I'm kind of surprised that someone hasn't gifted you a bottle of tequila at this point, just so you'll try it.
I'm glad they have not, because then I would have to
even a small bottle. Doesn't have to be a big.
Right. Oh, I mean, I could get it with no effort, but it's just the fact I'm so bogged down, and I don't mind being bogged down, but I'm bogged down in Canadian whiskey, American blended whiskey, blended Scotch whiskey. I've got the straight bourbons. Oh, here's Ron Rios showing up. Ron Rios here. Now, it's just like I'm not in any big rush. I've got so many things. I've got that Cooper's Craft bourbon, straight bourbon. I've got the Jim Beam Prohibition, non-chill filtered. I've got Bellows straight bourbon whiskey. I've got
Well, between the Dawn Busters, the amount of Dawn Busters you do, Fandango, and if you wanted a, yeah, you do plenty of Dawn.
You still hear background noise over
yeah,
there?
certainly.
Yeah.
Sounds like the TV or something is playing in the like. That's what it sounds like. I don't know.
But honestly, James, I think a good 12 years I've got it. That's assuming I don't buy anything else.
12 years to go through your stock. You mean
John
including?
Anile was in this house. He could tell you that I'm not exaggerating.
So even with
He's
Dawn,
got a very impressive collection, or he's got a very big problem, depending on how you look at it. No, it's a very good collection. It's not quite as good as the Liquor Hounds collection. If y'all have ever seen him on YouTube, he's got like a glass wall, thousands of bottles of liquor, but he's got quite a collection.
He can open up a little Cajun bar or something, a little tiki bar over there.
We can call it personal problems tiki bar.
Or private.
He could just have, Ron's neighborhood bar.
Well, instead of
free drinks.
Instead of getting a liquor license, have a private gentleman's club, like a private club with your own little elite, your own special people that you pick and choose.
Right, and they'll say, "Oh, it's a gentleman's club." They're going to say, "You got women dancing, right?" And I'm going to be like, "No, but I got all these old football magazines from the last 60 years." And I'll say, "Tonight we're going to look through this 1961 college preview edition, and then everybody will leave, and I'll be alone saying,
We'll get the Zulu.
I didn't realize Colorado State was so good that year." But anyway,
get some of the Zulu girls to dance in your private bar.
Yeah, well, okay. Now, any last comments? Ronnie says no. I say no, except that if you like the taste of Weed Killer by Ron Rio, but I don't really think people want to smell and taste Weed Killer.
That's the worst thing you can say about alcoholic beverages, comparing it to Roundup.
Right. Buy this rum. It tastes like pesticide. And then Johnny L.A. said those 420s are just too bizarre and to be enjoyable, really.
Yeah. At 91, I rated it earlier. It's already dropped to about an 85, and I think it's probably going to drop down to low B before I'm done with it.
Oh, man. One thing I noticed is that when I was on Google Chrome, the last two Hangouts on StreamYard, it started jamming up. I noticed other people doing Hangouts on other channels, and they were having the same problem. They kept talking about, why does this thing keep lagging? Why is this thing jamming up? And it was always the person hosting it. And I said, there's some kind of StreamYard problem. So I said, let me try Mozilla Firefox, which is something not too many people really use anymore. So I used it tonight, and I had no technical problems.
Really?
It helps too when your computer's not updating in the background. That helps.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. But then
now somebody mentioned.
But Wednesday night, but Wednesday night it was not updating, and I still had trouble. So I think it's some kind of Google Chrome issue. Honestly, what now, James?
Well, someone before mentioned they look forward to the next Club Pier 115 video. Now, Pier 115 video and Club Cubanelle are not on YouTube because of copyright. When the DJ plays original music, you get muted. YouTube will mute it. So they're in Google Photos album, and I finagle my way to post it on Facebook. Thank you for the compliment. That's the first here. But yeah, I'm starting to have a few glitches on Google Chrome that I never had before. Also, not many.
Yeah, so I think it could be an embedded Google Chrome issue that's starting to grow over the last few months where it's starting to get a little worse. And I had that problem actually on Mozilla Firefox back 2 years ago, where it started to crash, and then Mozilla started to send me messages saying that their system was no longer compatible with Google Hangouts on Air. Remember that?
Right. I used to have Mozilla Firefox. I never even bothered downloading it on my new computer because at the time Hangouts was still a thing, and nothing seemed to be supported by Mozilla.
Well, one thing I noticed about StreamYard, the quality of the video and audio,
much better,
far superior than Google Hangouts shows.
Well, I think that's the case now because Google Hangouts is no longer supported because you can't do live streams with it anymore. It's all off air. I think at one point we seem to forget about it because it's not as good now when you're doing the off air Hangouts. But I think at one point Google Hangouts was pretty much on the same quality level as StreamYards. It's just gone to, hell because it's no longer supported by any platform because you can't do live streams from it anymore.
Now, if you record a video on YouTube from your YouTube account, YouTube channel, when I tried it, it was blurry and pixely. When I do it on Facebook, which has more glitches than anything else, it's crystal clear. And right now, Jay, John and Nilly, Ronnie, and myself, we're all clear as can be in every way. Yeah. But there were times when Jay did the show, the other Wildcard Wednesday on Google Hangouts, and many videos were like going in and out. They were getting blurry and pixely, then they were getting clear again, and I think the more people that you add, the more people that came aboard, the more of an issue.
Yeah. But, it might have been something you were seeing on your end because when I looked at the playback, it wasn't doing that. When I looked at the recorded video, it wasn't all pixelated and blurry. So I don't know. I think Google Hangouts had a lot of problems, and that might have been why they got rid of it. They had a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, you're right. There is a way to add other people's videos to a live Facebook live stream, but you are limited to the amount of people you can add, just like here. There's limitations, but I'm shocked with all the glitches of Facebook that the quality of the video, the live video, which records, is exceptional.
I might have to look into that.
Well, with your phone, it works much better with. You can only add people. The add guest button only appears when you use your phone on Facebook for some strange reason. Not when you're on a PC or a laptop. That button doesn't appear.
That's very strange.
That is strange.
All right. Well, y'all take care now. I'm going to go to sleep pretty soon, but I'll be up and ready to battle in a Canadian whiskey taste challenge tomorrow. And then there's football this weekend,
Yes.
So LSU tomorrow night against Florida. So everybody in America's be cheering on Louisiana State, I'm sure.
The Tampa Rays series is still going on.
They lost last night, but they were in it up until the 5th game, so they went all the way. They went the distance.
So it's going to be Yankees in Houston then.
Yeah, Yankees in Houston starting Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night's all right for fighting, as
all right.
Elton John said. All right. Last call for final comments because I'm out.
Enjoyed it.
Enjoy it.
Okay, everybody take care. Enjoy your weekend in Florida. Enjoy your weekend in Georgia. Enjoy your weekend in New Jersey. And I'll try to enjoy my weekend in Louisiana. And everyone, take care. Goodbye, folks.
Cheers.